Hello guys. My name is Ben, and I'm technical lead of GDSC. And today we're gonna do an advanced Python workshop. So I'm pretty sure you guys all know how to write some codes in Python. Like probably you guys using it all day for the assignments and stuff. But maybe you have thought like, so like, what am I supposed to do with this? After all, like you learn those Python, and this is one of the applications that we can use how to the way how can utilize a Python to build a simple application, which is like web scraping. So there's a nice web scraping library, which is called Beautiful Soup 4, and we're gonna be using that to scrape the HTML page. Um, so let's get started. And if you guys have any questions, just like a raise up your hands, like feel free to ask me. So I think we should talk about what is the web scraping first. So web scraping is the process of using bots to extract contents and data from the website. Web scraping extracts underlying HTML code and with it data stored in the database. So what we need is that the bots and the HTML page, actual the HTML file, and how to get the HTML file. And the way we're gonna get the HTML file is just we're gonna use a simple library that called request. It's I don't think it's like standard library, but you can download it easily as the beautiful soup. And using that library, we're gonna download the HTML file and we're gonna uh, convert that into Python objects, and we're gonna analyze data from there. And Beautiful Soup is like just basically just a library, and it makes it easy to scrape the information from the web pages. So this is the important part. So environment setup is there's like a three steps. So you have to create a virtual environment first. I'm gonna be going over that together, and you need to install the Beautiful Soup 4, and you need to install the request. In order to do that, we need to create the workspace first. It's just a full folder directory. So just choose any folder, open your laptop right now, and just like create a any folder that you know work, and from there we're gonna create a virtual environment. So let me pull up my Visual Studio. Whoops. So as you can see here, I'm in my desktop workspace and web scraping workshop directory. So as I created this like directory, you guys can just create a directory and go into there. And we're gonna be using the terminal too. So make sure you bring up your terminal as well. And I'm gonna be creating a file that is main.py here. And before we actually use that main.py, we need to set up the environment that, like what I said. So let's go to cd tutorial. In my case, it's tutorial. And inside of the tutorial, because I have the main.py inside of the tutorial directory. So you should create a virtual environment right next to your main.py. And I'm gonna be typing Python m. Dash m means like you're gonna use the Python modules. And there's a vent module, and it's a convention. It doesn't have to be end, but normally it's like an end. It's called end. So as soon as you run this scripts, you're gonna be having this end file, and it really depends on the OS, the contents of the end file. Because right now I'm using Windows, and I have this like an end and scripts in here and activate in here. So if you guys are using Windows, all you gotta do is that end from here and um, and scripts and activate. Then you're gonna see this nice and activated signal here, and from there you can just like install your all the necessary libraries from there. If you're using Mac or Linux, I think there's a way to activate the environment. Then Python. Source. Wait. Uh, for the Mac. Source. I think it's like M source and what was the other one? ENV dash active. Oh, being activate. Yeah, so like you guys have to find the activate file and then just like execute it. I think it's like in Mac, it's like bean dash activate. It's much easier than Windows. In Windows, you have to find the script file and then you have to do the activate. This is how you activate it in Windows. And that's how you actually create the environment. And once you create it, are you guys okay with like an environment setup so far? Okay. Cool. Then we can move on to actually installing the libraries. So we can do pip install. Beautiful. And then wait, sorry. So you guys can just like type this comment in the terminal. And then what we need to do is that, okay, next we need to download a request library, which is gonna fetch the HTML file. So request. Make sure you put this S and the N at the end. So pip install request. And it's gonna install all the necessary libraries. Then now finally we can work on this main.py. So just two comments here, pip install beautiful soup 4 and pip install request. And then let's go back to the slides. So the web scraping steps there's gonna be 5 steps in here. So after you set up all the environments, the first part of the web scraping gonna be we need to download the HTML file because we don't have it. And it'd be great if we have downloaded one, but we're gonna just like fetch it. That's why we downloaded the request library so that we can fetch the HTML file from any public websites. And after we do that, we're gonna import beautiful soup 4 library to parse the HTML with beautiful soup HTML parser. That's gonna convert the HTML data actually into Python objects. And then beautiful soup provides us to use find all functions. So find is used to find these like single elements from the HTML elements, and the find all returns a list of like all the elements that satisfies the conditions. So after we find them, after we find all the data that we need, we're gonna store that into Python objects or list, and then maybe the last step is like optional. We're gonna save the information JSON or CSV format. So let's move on to the next step. So from here, obviously we need to import the beautiful soup library. So import beautiful as PS4. Yeah, and we need to import request as well. And probably we need a main function that actually fires the Python scripts. So maybe a main. It's gonna be passed for now. And we can actually make a function that we need to fetch and parse all the HTML files. So I don't know, like, do you guys have any like suggestion among these like three websites? Those are the candidates. We can just do any of those. You guys can just like vote. Which one you guys wanna go for? Right? Class schedule? Okay, class schedule. So let's actually look at the website first. So that like how it actually looks like. In order to do that, like we need a inspector. From inspector, we're gonna use it a lot. So for this, I think in order to do schedule of classes, so the information that we wanna get from this website would be that I think the course number and the course name and maybe instructors. The time, we can use the time as well. But for now, let's focus on just fetching all those like list of the courses, CSS courses in here. So let's inspect that. So as you can see, those are like all divs in here and page content. So every courses, every course blocks that we need in here, they're all inside of the page content. So and they give us this like an ID, which is like page content. So we can actually get this HTML elements by selecting this ID. And I'm pretty sure this ID is like unique. So yeah, this is very unique. So we can use that. So let's copy this and go back to here. Let's name the function as like fetch get all courses by CCS. And let's save the ID first. So we need this, and let's just call it wrapper ID because that element's gonna have all the course material course elements inside of there. And from here we're gonna be using the request. Let me pull up the request doc real quick. Python requests. So like using requests is like really easy. They have a get function, and as soon as you do this, you're gonna get the HTML file from the website. So I'm gonna be copy and paste this, and but we need an actual URL, but we don't have that. So let's create it, and let me bring this up. Copy and paste this URL in the browser, and let's go back to our Visual Studio Code and put this in here. And we're gonna fetch it from here. So I'm just gonna call it res, because it's response from the website. And now we have the HTML file. It's time to use the beautiful soup library. So let's do Let's go to beautiful soup documents. They have all the instruction in here, how to start it. So they said, okay, the HTML doc, we need to parse it like this. Well, actually, I'm sorry, I think I messed it up. It should be from BS4 import beautiful soup. And now we have the BS4, beautiful soup. Just copy and paste this. And let's put it on here. And let's put the rest in here. Because rest is the HTML document. HTML doc in here rest. And we want to parse it using beautiful soup. So I'm putting rest in here, and they have the return value. So like I can't put well, I'm just gonna call it object first. And let's print it out, like how it actually looks like. To check how it looks like. So Python, main.py. Actually, I'm not calling the function here, so let's call the function. And I'm not calling the main function, so I just call the main. And I am getting errors because response has no. So I'm not getting any response from this website. Let me check real quick. Yeah, so they need a content. We actually need a content. They have this built-in property that's like a gives us a content. So we can use that to parse the HTML. And if we run this, we get all this HTML in a string. And what we're actually getting is that we are getting all blocks all the way starting from here to all the way to down up till all the way down to here. So we're getting all the course blocks. But the thing is that we only want to get the course numbers and the course names. So how do we find that? Let's figure this out. So in order to get the course names, you need to inspect it first and find if they have like a unique ID inside there. So let's see. Let's see if they have it or not, because I'm not really sure. Let's. So this is course title and course header. Course title. Okay, seems like course title and the course codes are usable. Yeah, I think we can use them. So let's just pick since this is like a class main.py and so now we have all the objects and we have to find the page contents first. So what we need to do is that, okay, give me the page contents. Page content with the ID of page contents. So let's print this out first. Okay, so, I don't know how to do that. Sorry. Thanks. Thank you, Daniel. Maybe increase the font. Okay. I'm not. So I'm not really sure how to increase the font size. Oh, control 1. like this. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Um, oh, I'm just I might have to figure first. Make it a little better. Is it better? No. Bottom left settings. You can hit control minus to like. And font size 18. And I just like turn it off. Oh, oh, okay. I think, yeah, I think it's good. So we are finding an object that has ID of wrapper ID, which is page content, and that's gonna have all the elements inside. So let's print it out first. It's always good to check it if we're doing okay. And seems like we're doing fine. So uh let's use this. So I'm just gonna call it wrapper. Variable names, just like choose whatever you guys wanna, because I'm not really good at setting up the variable names. And the wrapper has find all. Let's see. So let's check the name of the course first. So it has a div and div and div, span and span. So we need those two. The way we can get this is that, okay, find all spans first. Find all spans and find all spans that has a class with the something. And that something would be course code, I believe. Course code and course title. Make sure you camel case it. So course ID, course code ID, and course title ID. There was like course title, I believe. And let's find this. Let's try course code first. So let's print this out. Like what I said, find all function gonna return the list of the objects. So let's see how it looks like. And these are all the course ID, course code that we can find from the website. And let me save this as course code. And actually, oh wait, and actually, let's look into it. So for codes, codes, print code. Well, this time we can use text. The text property will give us any string that wrapped inside of the span or div or anything else, any elements, HTML elements. So let's run this. Okay. So now we have all the course codes, and maybe we can save it as like a list. So like wrapper find all. Let me go to the documentation. Uh, and find all function. So find all function will return anything that we can find the tag with the, so the first parameter that it takes would be the tag name. So it's gonna so that's why we're putting a, oh my gosh, I'm gonna keep. Yeah, so it's gonna return the list of the HTML objects, HTML elements that matches with the condition that we gave to fit into the find all function. So now, right now, what's happening here is that, okay, find everything that you can find that has like an anchor tag. And what we are doing in here is that, okay, find everything that you can find from the wrapper object that we find that has like a wrapper ID. So like we found the wrapper with the wrapper ID, and the wrapper ID has like an older course code, and those course codes are stored in as a span elements. So what we want to do in here is that, okay, find all the spans inside of the wrapper that has a class name of course code ID, which is the course code. So that's what happening in here. And and since this is a list of Python objects that has HTML elements inside, that's why we're looping every element inside of that course code, and that code is a span element, and that span element contains a string that is actual course code that we need in here. So yeah, dot text is a property. When we are actually parsing it as rest in here, the Python the library actually creates all the property for us. We're just merely accessing it from here. Yeah. And now we have the course codes. Maybe we can just like save it in a list, or now, okay, let me do the course names next before we actually save into the data structure. So the process is still gonna be the same. So like now we have the span, but with the course title, class name with the course title. So what we can do here is that, okay, these are course codes and these are going to be course titles. And since we store the class name in here, we can replace it as course title. So like find all spans that has a class name as this. Okay, that's a good question. So the reason why I'm using find all in here is that I want to find every element because there are so many course codes in here. If we just use find function, then it's only going to return one element that matches with this condition, which is the first element that it can ever find. So like as soon as it finds the condition that matches with the condition that we gave to the find function, it's going to stop it there, and it's going to return just the first element it matches with the conditions. So that's why we're using the find all, because we want to scrape every elements that has span with the class name with the course code ID. So it's returning the list. That's why we're doing the find all instead of find. Yeah, so like the website, the developer who actually create this website, they just like it really depends on who actually create this website. So like they decide to give this specific ID, which is the page content, to the wrapper that wraps all the elements that we need. Yeah. So yeah. And we can move on, and let's just comment this out for now, because we are only introducing course title. And let's do the pretty much like same thing in here, but let's change this to title. And let's see if this works. Yeah, so now we have all these course titles, and I think you guys can come up with any ideas like to use this data. For now, like the web scraping part is like done, and we can decide like where to use this. Should we store this? Should we export this with the JSON file or CSV file, or should we do yeah, like something, you guys can come up with like something fun with those data. But web scraping part is like a done for now. So like now we have all the data that we need. We can just like store it as a inside of the list of the list or the objects and just return it. So maybe yeah, you can do that too. But I need to look up to the look into the documentation for the JSON of JSON library. And sorry. Oh yeah, I'm gonna submit all the colors in the repository, so it's fine. So maybe we can store this in the list. So maybe course. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we can do that. So then I was just gonna call it results. And let's okay. So they have like all the numbers. The well, maybe we can store in a pairs. We can just like pair them. So what we can do is that for I in range of postcode and size because they have length. Since all the course codes and the course titles have like a exactly same length, I believe I'm just guessing. Um, we can do we can access them by course codes I dot text and course code course title I dot text, and we can just pair them with the Python tuple, and we can append it to the to and this should be now then the result should be well should be resistant. Now we're storing the tuple just the pairs. Hopefully, let's hope this works. Mm, yeah, so now we have all the pairs in here. Yeah, thankfully, my guess was right. They have exactly the same length. All those like course codes and the course titles. So we can just like pair them with the tuples. Yep. Yeah, like yeah, just feel free to do whatever you want to do with those data. Yeah, it's yeah. I'm gonna be posting the post. So yeah, and you can even scrape other categories other than CCS because right now I'm really doing the CCS. But you can definitely scrape other majors course as well. So, in the code, okay. Um, here. When I initialize the variable, results here. Okay, so results is just a Python list. Um, here, so for the recap, we're fetching the HTML from here, and then we are parsing the HTML. Like most of the part is done from here because beautiful soup library it does everything for us, and we're just finding the ID corresponding ID object that has like a corresponding ID, and we're getting all the spans that have like a this class, and title have this class. And for every title, we're just printing it out, but we don't need that anymore because we're storing them in the data structure, which is list and the tuple. And that's it. Um, do you guys want to do another website, harder one, or I think this harder one? Okay, I've been working on this like a scraping the Billboard hot 100 charts. So let's go move on. Let's move on to the advanced one. Wait. Oh my God. Yeah, let's open this up and let's get the URL of this chart, this website, and let's go to the main.py. So let me store the URL of the website. Just gonna call it billboard URL. Billboard URL. And let's use it from, I'm just gonna use it. EF, how do you guys want to name it? Scrape billboard. Okay, scrape billboard. And okay, let's get the HTML first. Let's get the HTML. Let's get billboard URL. And we wanna parse it as we did in here, just like we did in here. So now we get the HTML file, so we can do objects with the HTML with the contents. And yeah, that's the basic setup. And let's go to Billboard website. Actually, scraping this like a really hard, so like Daniel kind of helped me a little bit. Let's look into it. Because like most of the time, the website you guys want to scrape would have this kind of structures. So the one we scraped before, it has like a unique IDs and it was like so easy to fetch everything. But like most of the website has like really random classes and they don't have like a unique ID or something. So like we just hope that like we just have to hope that like we actually get the like a unique classes name or the element that we actually wanna get from this website. So yeah, seems like it because just by content, maybe like some other CSS framework. But yeah, this is like a normally what you get when the those websites using like fancy CSS frameworks, and it really makes it hard to like get all the content from the websites. But there's always a way to do it. So get get all the contents first, like we did before. So seems like this chart results list contains everything that we need. But I don't think this is unique name. Let's yeah, they have like a 1,600 same class name, so this is not unique. So what we can do is that we can just copy and paste whole class name, which is very long, but it's worth it. Or maybe we can use this. Okay. I'm just gonna use charge result. Yeah, and let's see if it actually matches it. Mm, there's the function. Okay, so objects and find. We're just finding one element because like that's gonna have contain like all the contents that we need. And what was div, right? On the div with the class name, this, but we want to make it in a better way. So class name. Yeah, this is very bad practice, but yeah, you guys can do like a wrapper class name. And it's gonna return on Python object, so let's just keep using all. I think it's fine. And let's print it out. Wait, they're not calling this function, so yeah, so like it's very long, but we seems like we successfully fetched it. So let's keep working on it. So what we're interested in is actually the rank and the name of the artist and the name of the song, right? So let's fetch the rank first. And this is not gonna be very easy like before. So now we have all the lists. We're at here right now. We just successfully fetched all the HTML elements here. And then we can move on. So they contain all these divs, and we want all of them. We want 100 of them. So what we can do is that, okay, let's just copy the class name. Well, there's like, yeah, it seems like there's like only 100 of like the same class name, which is exactly what we want. So we're kind of lucky. And let's put it over here. So let's store the class name as item class, because it's going to be each items class. And object find, this time we're using the find all because we want 100 of them. And I think I am pretty sure it was this. Yeah, yeah, it was this. And let's pass the option, which is class name, and the class name going to be item class. So it's going to return us a list. And this, I'll just call it all the items. And now we have the list. It's time to look through all the items inside of the list. So for every item in items, well, I don't think just printing out would help. So as you can see, every item has like a UL tag, which is unsorted list, and unordered list. Sorry, so like it's like it means unordered list. And the section that we exactly want is that this one. So we want the first elements of this UL. So we gotta find the UL first. So let's find the UL. Item.find UL. And from there, what we want to do is that, okay, find all lists recursive is both. Also this one. Wait, let me check. Recursive. Um, recursive is false. Yeah. So we're gonna find all the lists, but recursive, we need to make it false. And what this will do is that, okay, like stop finding all the lists stop finding all the lists like nested inside of the list. So if there's like if we don't put this recursive false, what the find all function would do is that, okay, you told me to find all the lists inside of each item, inside of the each item's UL. And there's like a list that have like a list inside as well. So it's gonna give us that list tag as well. So that's why we're putting the recursive false in here because we don't want that. We just want those I guess there's like a for list in here. Um yeah, we just want these list, each of these lists inside of this UL. We don't want to bring up like those lists nested inside of these lists. We don't want to fetch this. We only want to fetch those like an upper level list under this specific UL. So now we found every list inside of that UL. Let's call it. I'm running out of the variable name. Well, let me just call it objects. And we want to do the another for loops here for in object. Sorry about the naming convention is very bad, but and what we want to do is say, okay, print out all the text inside of there, and let's hope this runs quickly. Let me put end here. It seems like it's fetching something. Okay, let me strip this. Okay, I think there's something wrong here. So like objects, we will find this here, and final the list. Well, let me just use this. I think it wouldn't matter. And let's store this as list item and print this. Then yeah. And non-type object is not callable. Oh, I was not using the text. Yeah, so now we have all the ranks and the name of the song and the artist. So let me separate it with the top and top. Yeah, I think this is that. So yeah, this is all we need in here. So yeah. Yeah, this is it. And this has been the Python workshop. We're using less gherkin. And like, is there any question? You guys can just like feel free to ask me. Any questions about the workshop? Okay. If there's nothing, then I'll just end the session. Thank you so much for joining this workshop. Appreciate it. Oh yeah. All right. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, I'll just stop the recording.